Don't be nervous about it.
Hey guys, it's Vinny from J-Tech. We're going to do a pretty simple repair on a wiring harness. As you can see here, we got a pretty crappy wiring harness, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut it and do an example of soldering it back together. These cutters will go through it. Get it through here. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is we're going to go ahead and strip it. This is like a 16 gauge, I believe, or 14 gauge. But just enough slack to get it. Nope, it's not quite. So when you're doing this, you want to be very careful not to damage the strains, because you need all of them. Oh, where's my? Oh, here it is. Okay, so first thing is, before you solder, of course, don't forget to put your heat shrink on, because you're not going to be able to get it on once you're done. Slide out of the way so you're not melting it while you're trying to solder. Normally, this is not an ideal repair on a harness. Normally you want to try to replace the whole entire wire, because you're just adding more connections and more places for it to break, rather than just putting a whole new, opening the harness and putting a whole new wire in. So, there's two different methods. Some people like to fan it out and stick them into each other and then roll them into each other. And some people just simply like to do an X and wrap around each other. I like to fan them out because I think it looks better. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and twist. So go ahead and get a piece of wood. That way I'm not burning the rest of the harness. So the main thing is, a lot of people when they solder, they try to use the gun to melt the solder. That's what you don't want to do. The wire, it needs to be hot enough to melt the solder itself. You don't want to try to use the gun to melt it. So I'm going to set it down. I'll let it get hot for a while. Might take a minute. Wire is just like anything else. If you overheat it, it does get brittle. There we go. See the wire just sucking it right in. Hit the back a little bit. Not hot enough yet on the back. Hold up. Give me just a minute here. There we go. A little more right here, and then I think we'll be good. All right, there we go. Set this aside. We're gonna need our heat gun here in a second to heat shrink over it. So obviously we're going to heat shrink to keep the water out of this thing. Just going to slide it over. Make sure it's long enough to, cover both ends pretty good. And I'm just gonna melt it on, and it's gonna tighten right around it. Taking forever. Trying to get this sucked down on this one side. All right, folks. Well, there you have it. That's just a basic example of how to solder two wires back together. Thanks for watching.